Hey, with us now is Fran Capo, and I was just telling her that her diamond looks super shiny, and I said to you, did you just clean it? You said what, 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
That looks great. So when I met you, you weren't married, but now you are.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool.
Well, that was an adventure in itself. You were at the wedding, so you know, I mean, we had him delivered to the altar in handcuffs. We had a nun break into the wedding. We had knives thrown at us, a typical Fran Capo wedding,
And happy 10th anniversary to us.
Yes, I know. I want to say this studio looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Amazing, and I'm so happy for you. When you had that dream 10 years ago, Franny, guess what we're going to do? And now look what you got. This is amazing.
And it's all because of the amazing guest over the years, a wonderful audience. It's so surreal that we're actually physically like sitting in this space, because when you and I first started, and I said, Fran, I'm too chicken to do this by myself. I said, you want to do it? And you're like, I'm at the Antarctica, but when I get back from the adventure, sure, yeah, no problem. And do you remember our very first show where it was just you and I sitting in front of a monitor on a stand, and that was all we had?
And that was it. And we were writing little, postcards of what we were going to say, what we were going to do. And we didn't have a makeup artist. We didn't have anything.
And nothing.
Yeah.
But we had a dream and a vision, and I thank you so much for always staying with me and being my best friend and hanging out with me on the journey. And speaking of journey, today, literally, the television that I grew up watching when I was a little girl is here on set with us.
Where?
Zenith. It's right behind you. And so that television, Fran,
I love it.
that television had its own adventure. So what ended up happening was every year I'd always tell my dad, I said, please save this for me, because someday when I grow up, I'm going to make it into a table. It's so cool, Dad. Will you please save the TV? Okay. Every year I'd go back, year after year after year. Is TV still here? I'd go down and check in the basement. Yeah, okay, it's still there. So I called him about a week ago and I said, Dad, listen, I'm filming for the very first time in this brand new set. We're renaming the show the Donna Drake Show. I said, you know what? I said, would really mean a lot to me. I said, is there any possible way? I said, could I get the television? I said, I don't even know how to ship a television from
St. Louis to New York. It's not a normal thing you put in the mail.
So I Googled, I'm like, I don't even know how heavy it is. I didn't know anything. And I said, all right, so I guessed it was 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. And I just said, somebody will put it in a crate and they'll get it here. Well, it was supposed to arrive a couple of days ago, but then there was snow in the Midwest. No matter what happened, I was sitting on set and it arrived, and it was here, and it's here, and it's going to be here. And it's so exciting to realize that. Oh, I don't want to get emotional.
Get emotional.
No. Hold it back. But when I haven't even really been able to look at it, and it's so funny because it's so sentimental to me, because like my mom's not here anymore, and she's in heaven, but like I remember like pulling the little button and the little light would go on. So every television show that I watched as a little girl that formulated maybe who I would be when I grew up is like sitting right there in front of me. And it's wonderful to have you here, because for the 10-year journey, to think that somehow the universe and everybody in the community and all of the audience, we pulled this together, and who knows where we're going to go. But I thank you, and it's not about me, and it's not about the TV, and it's not about the television show. We're here today to talk about you and the adventures that you have just completed. What's going on with you now, girl?
Okay, Donna, you know the reason I do the adventures. First of all, everybody's like, why do you do these crazy things? But the thing is, if you always have something to look forward to in life, your life always is, God, oh, I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to do that. And then you're just filled with this passion. And so I always love, and I've brought you on different adventures.
Oh, yeah.
Donna, guess where we're going to go?
Up the lemon squeeze.
Yeah. So New Year's, everybody's like, oh, it's going to rain and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, well, we got to find something that we could do that could be different, but indoors, that I could get everybody, wrapped around. So I'm starting to look at all these things, and I find out that they have this thing, hatchet throwing. So I'm like, who knew that this is a sport that they're going to do? So there's this place called Bury the Hatchet. They have 11 locations, but there's other things, other hatchet throwing places. So I call the place. I go, so what do you have to do to hatchet throw? They said, well, you got to be over 18. I said, all right, I kind of fit that, And so then I said, what's the second thing? They said, well, you got to have closed-toed shoes. I'm like, really? That's going to protect you against a hatchet? Yeah, really? And so I said, what's the third thing? They said, BYOB. I said, bring your own booze? Who thought it was a good idea to have sharp objects and alcohol in the same? She goes, oh, no, don't worry about it. It's only beer. I go, no, I would like to be far away from the drunk hatchet throwing people. So, but what it is, it's like, picture darts, right? But with hatchets. So you have a wooden dartboard, and they teach you how to put your both hands over your head and throw to the dartboard. I said, I think I could aim a lot better if you give me an X, a picture of my ex, you know, and put it up there. But the funny thing is, they're actually having a special now where if you bring a picture of your ex, you get 20% off.
Did you invent that?
I had said it to them. So, you know,
the
like,
marketing genius that you are.
That's it, and they took that. So, but it's actually a really cool date. You're in a cage, and the funny thing is you're in a cage, so there's two people that are throwing darts, you know, throwing hatchets at the same time. And then, but you're separated from the other people. But the only thing is there's no separation for the people that are behind you cheering you on. So, you know, if all of a sudden you like go like this behind you, well, then it's your friends. But anyway.
I did that with my first bouquet. I got married, and when they tell you to throw the bouquet, it went straight up in the air instead of going back like it's supposed to go back, and it like almost landed on my head. I had to catch it myself. I turned it around and I threw it back.
So wait a minute, so you almost caught your own bouquet?
I did catch my own bouquet.
So maybe that's why you got married more than once.
There you go.
Right, you were like, wait a minute.
You got to be careful where you're throwing things. You got to have good aim.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
You don't want to be aiming at your friends.
Yes.
So anyway, so it's a great team building sport, and it's actually, I mean, it's a good workout, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Excellent.
So that's the first one. The second adventure is if you happen to be somewhere else. I was going to Florida, Sarasota, visit a friend of mine.
You brought home a friend.
Yes, and so so of course. So I'm going to bring this little guy over here, and I'll explain why I'm carrying an alligator pillow. You know, I don't normally walk around with this in the street.
Alligator purse maybe, but not a gigantic
but not a big one like this. It's hard to drive, you know, when you got this in the car. But so what happened was my friend's Vivian, a childhood friend, says, hey, Fran, this would be a great, I know you like to do crazy things. We could go to Mayaca State Park.
Okay.
I said, well, what do you do there? She said, well, you can hike, you can bike. I go, all right, well, that's all right. But she goes, no, but if you get there 8 o'clock in the morning, the first 30 people get permits, and you hike 2.2 miles in, and there are literally, Donna, there's a place called the Deep Hole. There are hundreds of alligators just bathing in the sun. So now I'm saying to her, so there's a tour guide that takes us, right? She goes, oh, no, you signed a waiver, you're on your own risk. I said, okay, so the alligators are just there and you just, So I start looking up things because if I'm recommending this to the audience and stuff, I'm looking this up. And so I find out, first of all, alligators can run 30 miles an hour on land. I don't care how fast I could run, I am not running 30 miles an hour. So I have to be able to make sure I could climb a tree or whatever. Okay, second thing, they say that if an alligator is chasing you, you can zigzag. Okay, that's not true. Third of all, they say the alligators can't see very well. They have really good eyesight, okay? And they could hear very well. So the lady, when we get up there to the permit, she says to us, well, it's a cloudy day, they're not gonna come out. I said, well, no, we're gonna go anyway. So me, my friend, her husband, we go there, hike there. Not many other people doing it. We get there, and we see these little eyeballs all in the lake, like hundreds of little eyeballs. And so they're looking at us, we're looking at them, and all of a sudden one guy's in the water and he turns and he starts swimming really fast towards us. So I was like, this is a good time to run. Now, I looked up the 3 things that alligators like, their favorite food.
Okay. Little
dogs, chickens, and marshmallows.
Wait, little dogs, chickens
and marshmallows. And I'm thinking, how did they find out about the marshmallows?
Right.
Like somebody at a campfire, alligator comes up, they start throwing the marshmallows, the alligator goes, oh good, I'd rather have the marshmallow than you. I don't know. But I'm like, how do they not attack you? Because as it got warmer, the alligators started coming up on the land. And we were getting closer and closer. I was 20 feet from an 800-pound alligator that was about 12 feet long. And then next to him was another one, and another one, and another one, all around this deep hole. But the thing is, they eat at night and not during the day. Oh. Then, of course, I started thinking, what if I get the one dyslexic alligator that doesn't know the difference between day and night? And, it decides, oh, she looks good, she's Italian, I like Italian food, and it comes out and starts eating me. But it's a really cool, as long as you don't do anything stupid. If you're in Sarasota, Florida, it is such a cool adventure to try.
Did you name this friend?
So this is Al, for the little alligator.
Yes.
And the thing you'll know, the difference between an alligator and a crocodile. is because when they smile, all their teeth show.
Oh.
Okay, and the alligator's nose is more round and it's all black. Okay, but either way, you know, honestly, if you're running away from something and it looks like this, you probably want to go. They've been around for 37 million years. I think they got a heads up on how to survive better than us.
That's pretty
So,
amazing.
but
if you meet an alligator, then you should definitely have marshmallows nearby because they'd rather.
Right.
You can outrun, throw the marshmallows and run.
Well, this is the other thing too. I mean, or you go with someone you don't like, right? You make sure they eat chicken for lunch and you put a couple of marshmallows in their pocket. You don't have to worry about running so fast. They just go after your friend and not you. No, I'm only kidding.
But to read about all of your crazy, amazing, fantastic adventures, or for people to take adventures themselves, they could go to francapo.com.
Fran
It's all there.
Capo, like head of the mob, Capo,
Yeah.
CAPO.com, francapo.com, and all the shows that I'm performing at, and you know, all the adventures I'm doing are right on there, videos and everything. And you know, I'd like to see you do that with a real alligator.
I don't know. It's just
Make him clap! Yay!
ain't
The Donna
got a
Drake
barrel
Show.
of money. Maybe we're ragged and funny, but we'll travel along, singing a song side by side. Okay, so this is Fran Capo, Donna Drake, and Al
Yeah.
signing off. Stay tuned.